India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a visit to Surat in Gujarat and will also visit Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh on 17th and 18th of December. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the new integrated terminal building at Surat Airport in the western Indian state of Gujarat. The terminal building equipped is to handle 1,200 domestic passengers and 600 international passengers. Facade of the upgraded terminal building aims to enrich the passenger experience. The airport is also equipped with various sustainability features. PM Modi also inaugurated the Surat Diamond Bourse, which is the world's largest and modern center for international diamond and jewelry business. Later on, a huge crowd of people gathered during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's roadshow in Surat, Gujarat. Prime Minister Modi will travel to Varanasi later in the day and will participate in Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. Prime Minister Modi will also inaugurate Kashi Tamil Sangamam 2023 at Namo Ghat in Varanasi. After Surat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Varanasi for a two-day visit. In Varanasi, Prime Minister Modi will participate in Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra on 2 consecutive days. PM will also interact with beneficiaries of various government schemes. PM to also inaugurate Kashi Tamil Sangamam 2023 at Namo Ghat, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the newly built Sarved Mahamandir. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate and lay foundation stone of various development projects costing around $2 million. Prime Minister will also inaugurate new Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Nagar New Papur dedicated freight corridor project. Prime Minister to flag off Varanasi New Delhi Vande Bharat Express and also inaugurate Greenfield Shivpur Fulvaria Lahatara Road as well. The Kashi Tamil Sangamam special train reached Varanasi early on Sunday morning at 4:30 a.m., where on arrival the passengers were given a warm welcome with the beats of dhol and damru. The platform had been specially decorated for the occasion. Government officers and others present to receive them put marigold garlands in welcoming gesture. The tourists will stay for 4 days, during which they will visit famous places of religious and historical interest in Varanasi, then travel to Prayagraj and then to Ayodhya in the final leg of the journey. They will return on 20th of December. Varanasi District Administration has made special arrangements to ensure their safe stay.
Morning 4:30 p.m. and we have arrived in this holy town of Varanasi. It is a great occasion and we have been warmly welcomed by the UP Minister and former Union Minister Pon Radhakrishnan ji and all the dignitaries and government officials. It is a great response that we have got, and the warm welcome that you can see over here is the love for the Tamil people that the people of Kashi give. I am very much glad for this wonderful opportunity that we have got. You can see the sound, the enthusiasm. All the people of Tamil students have been warmly welcomed in this occasion. I thank all the people of Kashi, officials and government for giving us this wonderful opportunity, and we hope that everything will be fine. Hara Hara Mahadev!
This is very warm welcome for all. To arrange this from PM Modi, it will be a nice for everyone to interest in relationship between Bond and Kashi Tamil Sangam and the Tamil Mangal. It will be a Jai Hind.
Amazing welcome reception in Benares, and we are very happy and proud to be here, part of Tamil Sangam.
The promotion of Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat, or One Nation Best Nation, has been one of the major focus areas of the government, guided by the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The second edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam focuses on translating Tamil literature into various other Indian languages. Dear India correspondent Ajay Mishra spoke to Registrar of Central Institute of Classical Tamil.
The Namo Ghat of Varanasi is all set to welcome the second edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam here in Varanasi. I have with me Dr. R. Bhuvaneshwari, who is the Registrar of Central Institute of Classical Tamil, who is associated with this project of translating Tamil literature into other languages. Thanks very much, ma'am. What is the end motto of the translating Tamil literature into other languages, and what is currently doing? What are you currently doing?
So our Central Institute of Classical Tamil, mainly focusing on translating and doing research on the classical Tamil language, and it is focusing on mainly translating the available 41 literatures to the other languages, Indian languages and also the foreign languages. And the main motto of this translation is to reach out to the people and take the information available in the classical text to the people of the world, and I know it will benefit the society. And not only the classical language not only focuses on the literature, but also the wide information is available in all the classical texts, and not only in Tamil but also in other languages too. And in future we'll be focusing on translating other literatures, other language literatures to Tamil.
Thanks very much. So, so the translation of the Tamil literature, not only in the other languages but also in the special Braille languages for the visually impaired, is one of the prime focus of this second edition of Kashi Tamil Sangamam. With camera person Uttam Singh, Ajam Study News, Namo Ghat, Varanasi.
Moving to Kuwait now, where Kuwait's Emir Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Sabah has died, aged 86, according to the royal court. He died just over 3 years after assuming power in the US allied Gulf oil producer. Authorities gave no cause of death but announced the start of a 40-day official mourning period and a 3-day closure of government departments. The Emir was admitted to hospital late last month due to what the state news agency described at the time as an emergency health problem, but said that he was in a stable condition. Kuwait's Crown Prince and his half-brother, Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, was subsequently named new Emir. A statement from the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs said. Sheikh Nawaf was sworn in September 2020 after the death of his half-brother, Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the demise of Emir of Kuwait. In a tweet, Prime Minister said, and I quote, "Deeply saddened to learn about the unfortunate demise of His Highness Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah. We convey our deepest condolences to the royal family, the leadership and the people of Kuwait." The Indian government has announced one-day state mourning throughout India to mark the demise of the Emir of State of Kuwait. Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmad Al Jaber Al Sabah, the Emir of the State of Kuwait, passed away on Saturday. As per the Government of India, the national flag will be flown at half-mast throughout India on all buildings where it is flown regularly, and there will be no official entertainment on the day to mark respect to the departed dignitary. Now, as calls for safe return of hostages held in Gaza intensifies, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appeared to confirm on Saturday that new Qatar-mediated negotiations were underway to recover the hostages. Earlier, Israel's intelligence chief met the Qatari Prime Minister amidst the efforts to bring about a deal for the release of hostages. Moreover, Netanyahu also vowed to maintain intense military pressure on Hamas in Gaza.
We are working with Qatar and Egypt. We have serious criticism of Qatar, about which I suppose you will hear in due course, but right now we are trying to complete the recovery of our hostages.
The Israeli army released a footage on Saturday showing operations in and around Kamal Adwan Hospital in Beit Lahia, northern Gaza. The Israeli troops also said that weapons were recovered in and around the hospital, which they claim was used as compound for Hamas. It added that 90 Hamas fighters were arrested during the operation. Now, Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria plan to sign a deal in January on a joint plan to clear mines floating in the Black Sea as a result of the war in Ukraine. The agreement, expected to be signed next month, would be the first major joint action of Black Sea nations since President Vladimir Putin started the war on Ukraine in February 2022. Black Sea states Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria met officials from Georgia, Poland and Ukraine in April 2022 to discuss clearing the mines after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Defense ministers from the three countries also held talks on the plan at a NATO meeting in Brussels in October and in Ankara last month as they work to finalize the initiative. Shelling hit an oil reservoir in a suburban district of the Russian-controlled Donetsk city on Saturday, setting the reservoir aflame. It was the second time the last 24 hours and the third time this week that the artillery fire hit oil shortage and storage in Donetsk. The capital was annexed by Russia amid an ongoing military operation against Ukraine in September of 2022. The Russian-backed city authorities haven't commented on the incident. There has been no immediate response from Ukraine. Russian President Vladimir Putin's announcement to seek re-election in the upcoming presidential election has garnered strong support from the Russian people. His high approval ratings and endorsement from a group of voters in Moscow reflect the widespread backing for his bid. DD India's correspondent Dasha Chernyshova is in Moscow for more insight.
The initiative group of voters has unanimously supported Russia's incumbent president Vladimir Putin's self-nomination in next year's presidential election. Under the Russian law, a group of at least 500 voters should be formed to support a candidate's self-nomination. And organizers of the Saturday event say there were over 700 voters officially registered and supporting Putin's bid. On the 8th of December, Putin announced his intention to seek re-election in March 17 presidential vote. Earlier this week, Putin held a 4-hour-long Q&A session answering questions from the citizens and journalists. He reassured there was no need of another wave of mobilization in Russia and said Moscow was strengthening its positions along almost entire contact line. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told media on Friday that Ukraine is unable to win the conflict with Russia and that the US is well aware of that. Peskov added that the US was throwing away billions of dollars of its budget funds allocated for the military and financial aid to Ukraine. He also insisted that despite that aid, Kyiv has failed to make any major progress on the battlefield. Dasha Chernyshova reporting in Moscow for DD India.
More than 60 migrants drowned in a shipwreck of Libya, adding another chapter in the unrelenting toll in the Mediterranean Sea as people flee famine, conflict and other upheavals for distant shores. The International Organization for Migration in Libya said in a post on the social platform X that women and children were among the 61 migrants who drowned. However, the Libyan government has not commented on the agency's report. The boat had set off from the Libyan city of Zawara with about 86 people citing survivors of the shipwreck. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak warned the threat of growing number of refugees could overwhelm parts of Europe. Speaking at a political event in Rome organized by his Italian counterpart Giorgia Meloni's right-wing party, Sunak said hostile powers would use illegal migration as a weapon to destabilize societies. While in Rome on the one-day trip, Sunak also met Giorgia Meloni and Albania's Prime Minister Edi Rama for talks on illegal migration. Sunak survived a major threat to his leadership on when he won a vote in Parliament on an emergency bill to revive his plan to send asylum seekers to Rwanda, seeing off a rebellion from some of his lawmakers. Now going to US. Former US President Donald Trump took aim at President Joe Biden at a rally in New Hampshire where he warned of the World War III and pledged to prevent it. Trump leads his rivals for the Republican nomination by nearly 50% points in national opinion polls. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 4 felony counts accusing him of attempting to defraud the United States and obstruct Congress through schemes to overturn his loss to President Joe Biden. And now Alex Batty, the British teenager who resurfaced in southern France after disappearing 6 years ago, returned to Britain on Saturday, local police said. The boy had disappeared at the age of 11 in 2017. The police informed that the teenager met with a relative and police officers who accompanied him on his journey back to Britain. Cardinal Angelo Becciu was convicted on Saturday of embezzlement and sentenced to 5.5 years in jail. He was the most senior Catholic Church official ever to stand trial before a Vatican criminal court. The trial, which exposed infighting and intrigue in the highest echelons of the Vatican, lasted for 86 sessions over 2.5 years. Venezuelan children race on wooden go-karts called carruchas as a kickstart to Christmas season. The race, which is also a local tradition of El Retiro in Caracas, is organized every year in an attempt to get the children away from electronic games and to encourage them to play traditional games. Well, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra reaches Mayurpanch in Indian state of Orissa. Heavy rains lash parts of Tamil Nadu. India Meteorological Department predicts heavy to very heavy showers. Khelo India Para Games to conclude with a closing ceremony today at New Delhi.
We just don't bring you you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Now, Congo will vote in a general election next week. Thousands attended opposition candidate Martin Fayulu's final campaign rally on Saturday ahead of the December 20 vote. Fayulu, a former oil executive and the leader of Engagement for Citizenship and Development Party, came second to President Felix Tshisekedi in 2018. Meanwhile, opposition parties and independent observers have warned that issues including illegible voter cards, blocked campaign planes, and electoral list delays threaten the legitimacy of the results. Chile is gearing up for Sunday's second referendum on a new constitution where citizens will vote to replace the old constitution that dates back to the 1973-1990 rule of General Augusto Pinochet. The push to rewrite the constitution was due to the protests 4 years ago sparked in the part by deep inequality that many blamed on that framework. This is Chile's second attempt at drafting a new charter. The first attempt was rejected in September 2022 by voters. In the event of its failure, the government would not push for a third rewrite. Instead, try to amend the current text to include popular proposals. Mexico's Maya train, a tourist railway in the Yucatan Peninsula, has commenced operation on the first segment of the line. Tourists aboard the newly inaugurated train Maya said they were happy to be among the first passengers to use the service. The first section of the train, a flagship infrastructure project of President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, was launched on Friday. The track goes from the southern state of Campeche to the tourist hotspot of Cancun. Another section from Palenque to Cancun is expected to be inaugurated by the end of December. Chadians are voting on a new constitution, a key step towards promised elections. Transitional President Mohamed Idris Deby, who has governed the country since 2021, had promised to hand power to civilians and hold elections this year before postponing them to 2024. DD India's Isaac Lucando has more.
8 million voters are expected to decide on a new constitution in Chad. The vote tests the legitimacy of the over 30-year rule of the Deby family. President Idris Deby's death in 2021 threw Chad's politics and military into disarray. His son Mahamat Idris Deby now leads a transitional military council that is attempting to hold on to power. Many analysts predict a yes vote due to a well-funded ruling junta campaign. The opposition, on the other hand, has faced divisions, arrests, intimidation and threats over the last year. Their hopes are pinned on a low turnout to challenge the family dynasty's power. A country of about 17 million people, the United Nations ranks Chad as the world's second least developed country. Isaac Lucando in Dar es Salaam, reporting for DD India.
Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has pledged to strengthen cooperation with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in the economic and security fields to pass on what he called a trust-based cooperative relationship to future generations. Kishida spoke at a special summit in Tokyo to mark 50 years of friendship between Tokyo and ASEAN, which opened a banquet on Saturday. Kishida said the core of the relationship between the two sides is mutual trust. He also added that Japan hopes to create a strong economy that will produce further vitality and grow together with ASEAN by bringing together each country's strengths in the face of crisis that may be difficult for countries to resolve on their own.
The core of Japan-ASEAN relations is, above all, mutual trust. What underpins this trust is our precious history of consistently working together, even in time of hardship. We would like to pass on to the next generation this heart-to-heart relationship.
Benin's foreign minister arrived at Delhi on an official visit, and his official visit aims to further strengthen bilateral ties and cooperation between India and Benin. As per India's External Affairs Ministry, Benin expressed solidarity with India in its efforts to tackle the scourge of terrorism, which has become the biggest threat to international peace and security in the current times. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed concern over the lapse in security of the Indian Parliament. In an interview to Indian National Daily, the Prime Minister said that the incident is unfortunate. However, instead of debating or protesting about it, it is important to go deeper into it so that a solution can be found. PM Modi said that seriousness of the incident that happened in Parliament should not be underestimated at all. Therefore, the Speaker is taking necessary steps with full seriousness. He also said that the investigating agencies are investigating strictly. Speaking of a latest development in the investigation in the Indian Parliament security breach incident, according to police, phone parts of all the accused in the case have been recovered from the western Indian state of Rajasthan. All the phones were found in burnt condition. As per sources, a person named as Lalit Jha had the phones of all the accused. The Indian Air Force Academy, Dundigal, in the South Indian state of Telangana, hoisted the combined graduation parade for the 212th Officers Course. Commissioning cadets marched shoulder to shoulder gallantly as the Indian Defence Minister Rajnath Singh reviewed the combined graduation parade for the 212th Officers Course. Indian Minister also conferred the prestigious President's Commission along with Sword of Honour to the graduating trainees. Indian Navy successfully completed maiden in-country pilot training of multi-role MH-60R helicopter at INS Garud, Kochi. Rear Admiral Anshuman Chauhan presented graduation parchments to successful trainees. The helicopter is one of two copters procured by India from the United States at a cost of over 14,000 crore rupees. The induction of these helicopters has significantly boosted the integral anti-submarine warfare capability of the Indian Navy. Indian Minister Som Prakash participated in the Indian government's outreach campaign Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra in the Kakianda district of southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. The minister distributed Ujjwala connections, Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro-food processing enterprises to the beneficiaries. On this occasion, the beneficiaries shared the changes that came in their lives due to the welfare schemes of the central government. Everyone joined the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra and took the pledge of Viksit Bharat 2047. Well, let's take a look at other stories making news today. Indian government's outreach program Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra reached India's Mayurbhanj in the western state of Odisha on Saturday. Hundreds of people gathered at that event to listen the interaction of Prime Minister with beneficiaries across the nation. Meanwhile, people took benefits of health camp and witnessed the exhibition on agri products. Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra started in the urban area of India's Rohtak in the northern state of Haryana on Saturday evening. A message by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was played at the occasion. The Prime Minister also virtually interacted with the beneficiaries of various schemes and launched the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra in 5 states. Hundreds of people attended the Indian government's outreach program Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra in India's Behrampur city in the western state of Odisha. Various benefits of welfare schemes of central government were provided and attendees also took benefits of the free health camp. Meanwhile, many beneficiaries recounted their past plight and expressed gladness about the benefits they received from several schemes. Heavy rains lash parts in India's southern state of Tamil Nadu as the India Meteorological Department has predicted heavy to very heavy showers at many places. Furthermore, isolated heavy rainfalls are likely to lash Tamil Nadu from Saturday to Tuesday. Well, Team India will play its first ODI match against South Africa in Wanderers in Johannesburg on Sunday after the just concluded World Cup. Young players are expected to make an impression in this new era for both teams as they prepare for the ICC Champions Trophy in 2025. KL Rahul has got the onus to lead India in the 3-match series. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are not part of the ODI series. Rinku Singh may make his ODI debut, joining Rahul, Ruturaj Gaikwad and Shreyas Iyer. The Indian team management hopes these young players can fill the gaps against a weakened South African attack without Henrik Nortje and Kagiso Rabada. The 2023 Khelo India Para Games will conclude with a closing ceremony on Sunday at New Delhi's JLN Stadium. The games took place from December 10th to 17th and featured 7 sport disciplines, including para badminton, para table tennis and para powerlifting. The games were held at 3 venues in Delhi, including the Indira Gandhi Stadium, Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium and Karni Singh Shooting Range. All right, and that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.